What's up? Of course, it's me, your boy, Richie Rich at Consumer Appliance Support. Man, you know we review appliances. Today we're gonna focus on helping you guys install a drain pump. A common issue with LG washing machines, man. If you're having an issue where it's not draining out the water, you've cleaned out the drain, and it's constantly just having water sitting inside the tub and it's not draining out, you might have an issue with a drain pump or with your drain pump. It is a common issue on the front load washing machine when we're dealing with LG, and we're just gonna walk you guys through it, man. Have you look up the part. Hopefully you can see it behind me, where you're able to look up the part and see the part number 4681 Echo Alpha 2001 Tango. And it is a common part, and it does not cost a lot, and it's not difficult to install the part. But we're gonna walk you through it, man, so let's get it. All right, so let this video rock for a second. So first thing I want to look at is the screws that's behind it. You have a couple panels, so bear with me in the video. Again, I always tell you guys, man, when I'm shooting these videos, I got camera in one hand and I'm trying to work it and do it at the same time. All right, so here you have your soap dispenser. Let me slow down the video real quick so that you guys can see that. Removing the screws in the back, remove the top panel for the actual wash machine. And as you continue to go through the video, you have the soap dispenser. You press down on the tab, and then you pull the soap dispenser out. You do have multiple screws that you need to take out. All right, so there's one on the left, one on the right. That will start to remove your control panel. All right, so we're getting inside the wash machine, removing the screws and starting to remove another screw that's right behind the front panel. You remove that screw as well. That's what secures the control panel. So we're gonna let the video rock and roll. All right, if I can get it in there. All right, cool, got it coming out. And then there's tabs. If you look, I just pressed over the tab. There's another tab there. Again, bear with the video. You see the tab, and then you remove the panel. You want to disconnect the harnesses. All right, removing the wire harness. You can see there. Pressing down on it to remove the harness, and the control panel comes off. So this, I jumped right into removing the door boot seal or the gasket that's in the front. So if you're having any issues where your washing machine is just dripping water in the front portion, we did remove a Samsung door boot seal for a front load washing machine. So if you're interested in learning how to install one, the Samsung and the LG one is not that different. A lot of them is not that different. It's just really understanding really how to take it apart and put it back together. But again, check out the Samsung video. That will help you tremendously. So right now I'm removing the door spring or the ring that goes over the clamp that goes over the door boot seal to keep it secured so it doesn't leak. I'm gonna let that rock for a second. So again, now I remove down to the bottom, removing the actual filter cover. Once you remove the filter cover, you can see the drain hose and you can see the filter. Most of the time it's instructed and it's okay for you to remove the filter housing to clean inside the washing machine, because there are times where you might have pencils in there, coins from being in your pocket, lint, all types of stuff go inside that filter, man, and you want to make sure you clean it out. But we always advise that you go into the drain hose that you see here, removing the cap that's on top of that, then drain the water out using the actual hose that you see here, then go into the filter, because you don't want to open up the filter even though there's no water inside the tub. There's always tub in the shell that it sits in, and what that does is going to allow all the water to come out. So you're going to try to get as much of the water out as possible before you actually go removing the filter, because it's going to leak all over the place. All right, so removing a couple screws. There's tabs that you need to remove that. Like I said, bear with me with this video, man, because again, I'm only shooting it with one hand, and I'm inside a homeboy house trying to fix the washing machine. All right, so then you have one more screw that's behind the housing that you see there that you want to remove when you're dealing with the filter. So we're just gonna let that rock for a second. We're gonna get into it, and then we, of course, you remove the door latch. Right, that's the door latch. So there's a screw up top, screw up the bottom. Normally once I remove that, I get into the panel and remove the whole entire door. There's screws up top that you need to remove on top of the door. So you want to be able to do that, and the door just comes off seamlessly and easy once you remove the control panel. This is just a clamp to the drain hose, so you want to remove that as well, because we're going to try to get the whole thing out. Alright, so also you want to remove the recirculating drain pump. So there's 2 drain pumps on here, and one of the mistakes my homeboy made was he replaced the drain pump, but he replaced the wrong one. He ordered the right drain pump, but he put it on the incorrect side because he didn't know there was 2 drain pumps. So I had to go out and just, you know, fix it for him. But either way, removing the circulation drain pump that allows the water to circulate back into the wash machine. All right, so you want to remove that. So again, you want to be careful, get as much of the water out and all the water out as possible for this particular wash machine. And then you have the clamp that's underneath of there. You got screws that you can remove. Right, so you want to use your ratchet set. You got that clamp. That's, you want to remove this here, which is the tub. It's called a tub gasket, something like that. So you want to remove that as well. So we're gonna do all that so you'll be able to see it. Use your ratchet set, going inside of that, removing the screw, because you want to remove the whole entire housing, including both drain pumps. So again, you see me ratcheting it out, just getting it out, man. It's not, again, it's not a difficult thing to do. It just takes some time, takes some getting used to. I'm hoping this video will help you tremendously in what you need to remove this. All right, so yeah, it's gonna take some time to get it out. All right, so you got 2 in the front and then 2 in the back, and you just ratchet out, get it in. If you have a drill or whatever that could fit in there, whatever you can use to help you to make sure that you get it out a lot faster. Disconnecting the wire harness. Again, you can take pictures, and that's one of the things that we ask for you guys to do. When you're removing anything, you always want to take pictures of it before you take it off, so you know exactly how it goes. We have smartphones, you can record videos, or you can take a picture of it if you want, whichever makes it easier for you. All right, so then we remove that, remove the screws from the other drain, from the drain pump and from the recirculating pump. All right, so again, it's, you know, he thought something was wrong with it after he put the part in and it didn't work. He thought it was more than that. But you can see it's like water coming out of the drain hose there. I normally mark the drain pump so that I'm able to secure it properly back to where it was originally, because you're gonna have to remove the screws and then you're gonna separate the pump. So you want to make sure that the pump is sealed properly. If it's not secured like it was, then it could cause the pump to leak. And one of the worst thing you want to do in this particular model is you put it together, you put everything back, the doors, the gasket, the door latch, and you start it up and then it starts leaking all over the place. That means you have to break it back down again in order to fix it. All right, so just be careful with that. Just be careful with that. All right, so I'm just marking. You can use a highlighter. I normally just use my knife, because that's what I normally have on the side of me, and just remove the screws and put the new pump in. All right, so you want to remove the housing a little bit, take some of the screws out. Even those 2 screws at the bottom, it gives you some flexibility, because the other screw is so deep underneath, sometimes it's difficult to get to. All right, so you want to be able to make sure that you have enough space and room to be able to unscrew whatever it is that you need to unscrew, right, so that you can secure it back properly. All right, so that's about it. I'm just examining it, looking at it, just like anything else, man, when you're checking it out. So you want to be able to do that. Like I said, removing the screws, taking your time. If it's something that you're doing for the very first time, just take your time, man. It's not difficult. It should take you less than an hour. That's the old drain pump, and that's typically how it looks. Sometimes the impeller is broken. It might make a loud noise, like a louder noise than before, and it's not draining. Like I said, it's a common issue for this LG model, for this drain pump to be defective and not drain out. But as you can see when we showed you the model number of the part, it's not that expensive. All right, so it's something that you can get online yourself and just do it yourself. And this is what I'm trying to do, help other people that want to be able to fix their own appliances and save themselves some money. I want to be able to help you with that as well. All right, so let's get it. So everything is back on. I think I put it on before without even showing you how to put it back on, but that's the old one. That's the old drain pump that I had to take off and put back, put the new one on. All right, so this is what I'm doing. This is a test that I normally will run. So I will fill up the housing with water and try to block off a lot of the porch that allows the water to come out, just to check and see if it's gonna leak with water in it. If it's gonna leak with water in it without you putting it back together, then it's gonna leak once you put the machine back together. All right, so that's all I did. Just went to the faucet, filled it up with some water, tilt it to the left where the drain pump that I took off in, just to make sure that it's not leaking, both left or right. But remember, he had the wrong drain pump on, so I had to make sure that both sides was correct. All right, then just reconnecting the wire harness on the circulation pump, doing the same thing on the drain pump, sticking in, and that's the cap that I was telling you before, the cap that goes on top of that hose that you want to disconnect. And as soon as you disconnect it, water's going to come out, so you do want to be careful with that as well. All right, so yeah, so this is me having some trouble putting it back in, man. Like I said, it's difficult to try to do this stuff, man, while you got the cell phone in. But like I said, I'm just trying to do my best to capture as many videos as possible to try to help you guys out so that you'll be able to have this information. All right, so again, we put the clamp on, and that's one of the hardest things to, it's not hard, but you just want to make sure it's secure, is the clamp that you see right there, right? You want to make sure that's secured properly. There's a lip that's a split on the inside, so you want it to line up as you put the I would say the pump to drain pump housing. That's basically how they somehow describe it. The tub to drain housing hose, that you want to make sure that that split is lining up with the dent that you see in between, because if you don't, it might not be secured properly once you put the clamp on. So you just want to check it on both sides. You might want to twist it a little bit, make sure the clamp is on pretty tight, and you just want to be careful doing it. All right, because if you don't put it in properly, it's gonna leak. And like I said, see, this is me showing you underneath, and you see the lip underneath the bottom of it. So I try to flip it to show you how it's supposed to be, because if not, it's going to create a hazard with all that water, man, and you don't want that to happen. Especially if you're working in a customer's house, or you're dealing with certain floors. Right now I'm in the basement, so I'm pretty good as far as the flooring. I could always wipe the water up, or you can have a vacuum, or a wet and dry vac, or some towels. All right, so you want to be careful with that as well. All right, so that's just me connecting the back, showing you how it goes on. Just doing all that. I already put everything back on. I put the clamps on, I put everything on pretty fast, and I just threw it up. So that's the door latch that you see there that you missed. I don't want you guys to miss that. This is me putting the door on properly, how it's supposed to be. Everything is secured, and I'm just gonna stop it there. And this is the door latch that I removed before with a couple screws. So I'm just gonna let this rock. And then, again, I'm showing you what you're supposed to do in the beginning, removing the screws that goes into the actual door. All right, so again, it's not difficult to do. You can actually see this as you remove the control panel, so you'll be able to have access to it and put the stuff back on. All right, so again, I'm glad I was able to show you guys that. See, the screws are going back in. Again, it's not difficult to do, not difficult to install. Just take your time, watch this video, make sure you like, make sure you share. And then of course you got the control panel to be put back on after we put the latch and secure the actual door. Then you're going to insert everything in between, which is the wire harness and the control panel. You want to snap everything in and make sure everything is secured, that the clip or the lip goes over the connector. You put the screws in, snap everything back in. Just let that rock for a second so you can see that, and you're just connecting everything. Just take your time connecting everything, making sure that everything is right. Secure it, because you don't want the wire harness to be all over the place. And any movement in the wire harness and it's not connected tightly, that can cause your washing machine not to drain, not to spin. It can create where the control board is not communicating with different aspects of the washing machine. So you just want to be careful with that as you do it. All right, so bam. So we got our screw back in. We wanted to put the screw back in there. That's something simple, nothing difficult. And then again, you're snapping that back in, and then you got the screw that you want to put in there as well. You can see that. But yeah, that's pretty straightforward as far as the housing. We're at the end of it basically. Just running the machine and snapping the screws back in. Now I want to run it and test it see what I got, see if it's working, start up, let it drain, put it on either a drain and spin cycle on this particular machine. You can see it washing, draining. I'm your boy Richie Rich at Consumer Appliance Support. You help me, I help you, we both help each other. So that's how you install the LG drain pump, man. Again, we're gonna have the model in the description box. We're gonna have the part number as well, so if you need to get that part, holla at your boy, man. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'm out. Peace.